The ride to Robbinsville was on these mostly flat highways, pretty uneventful. Not a lot to really show you. This road sign was all over the place though. I found a little Airbnb, little treehouse, looked kind of interesting. This is the entrance, and you'll see the treehouse in a minute. It was a nice little spot. The next day, I was going to ride the tail of the dragon and the Cherohala Highway. The Airbnb was sort of centrally located between the two. Here I am arriving at the tail of the dragon, the Deals Gap Resort. Pretty famous spot on a lot of YouTube channels. So I spent some time just faffing about at the resort. Had a really bad coffee, but eventually had to get on the road. And this is the very beginning of the Tail of the Dragon. I did eventually buy one of the pictures from those companies that sit along the road. After I did the tail of the dragon, I was going to loop around and hit the Cherohala Highway, but I wanted to go sort of the back way, and I stumbled across this dirt road. It was just really nice along the stream. This was lucky. Nice spot for a pit stop, if you know what I mean. Well, however, I ended up on the Cherohala Highway. The visitor center was about a half a mile behind me, but I didn't know that. So I went this way and never got to the visitor center where I could have picked up a sticker or a t-shirt or something. This is Robbinsville. My little Airbnb is just off to the left across the stream. You can't really see it, but it's back there. Robbinsville was okay. It was suitable for what I needed, which was just a place to stay, and it was near the roads I wanted to ride on. But if I were to do it again, I would probably pick another town. As you can see, it's just strip malls and franchises. There's really no quaint little downtown or nice restaurants to eat. So it was functional, but not charming. After getting some gas, I decided to ride back on the Cherohala Highway. So heading back out, getting dusky, but I had to go back. It was just too nice. This is a side road I had noticed. Forest road, all dirt. Had to go. Give it up, old man. You're never gonna catch him. This was just some little nature area off to the side, so I pulled over and walked around a little bit. It was a nice spot. Getting passed by a Porsche and a Ferrari. Nice way to start the day. They didn't get too far though. Construction. I had pulled over just to see the view on this spot, but behind me were all these Porsches and sports cars. This is kind of typical for the area. People come here, and these guys, I'm sure, are headed to the tail of the dragon to rip it up and do something illegal. So across from the valley, you can see the parking lot up there, and I didn't know, but that's the view from that parking lot looking back to where I just was standing. Pretty cool. These guys were flying drones around this parking lot in this area. Don't know who they were. So I've been riding through the forest and everything was very country. And all of a sudden, I'm in downtown Gatlinburg. The change was very sudden. So even though I left the woods and the country, it was still country, if you catch my drift. Paula Dean store. Who knew? This motor nature trail was on my GPS. I had planned to go here. It was very nice, but this one lane, one way, no turning around became a bit of an issue. You'll see. Speed limit here was 10 miles an hour. Some people took it very seriously. I would have preferred to have gone around, but I didn't really want to be a jerk about it. You can hear me grumbling, but my natural speed would probably be 20, but this guy was just going too slow. Stopped to take a picture next to this outcropping. It was just nice along the road like that. This was just a nice little waterfall. Had to stop and take a couple of pictures. This was a little homestead on the side of the road. This family lived here until the 30s, and there were 10 of them, actually 11, in this house. Pretty amazing. I had these children flown in for scale. Look at the size of those doors. Short. After leaving that cabin, I was preoccupied with thoughts of what it was like to live in that place back in the 20s with 11 family members in that little cabin. How do you walk to town? How often do you go to town? What kind of schooling do you get? What do you do for fun if you're a kid? How did they live back then? It was really something that occupied me. Oh, it's my old friend, Mr. 8 miles an hour. Luckily, that was the end of the road. He pulled off, and that was pretty much the end of that auto road through the woods. That was pretty cool. If you're in the area and have the time, I suggest you check it out. By this time, I was kind of hungry. Made a wrong turn, but worked out. Landed in a diner with Dolly Parton. Had some BLT on rye. Skyline Park in Gatlinburg was really why I came. Don't know what piqued my interest, but I saw it on Google Maps and I figured it would be a worthwhile destination. Nice day trip. The ride to the top takes about 8 minutes. Other than being a little hot, it was very nice to just sort of sit back and do nothing and enjoy the view passing by. Hmm. Didn't take a whole lot of video here. mostly a lot of pictures, but hopefully you get a feel for the place. It was very nice, definitely on my recommended list. There are a lot of people around. They'll take your picture, but they won't tell you how goofy you look. This was as far as that woman got. It was a little too bouncy for her. Oh, that's weird. Wow. One foot in front of the other. Don't look down. If you stop, you feel it shaking. I always thought these little glass panels were a gimmick, but they really do get your heart racing. If you look across the valley, you see that tall hotel. Right past there is where I drove into that road in the woods, so it's up in those hills. For some reason, I decided to go to Dollywood, which isn't too far from Gatlinburg. But the ride from Gatlinburg to Dollywood was really quite nice. Going through a federal or national park and along a stream through some tunnels. You can see one here, and it was just a really nice, unexpected surprise. This road from Gatlinburg to Dollywood. I must have been there when it was either closed or the season really just wasn't going, because this is a pretty massive place. 3 lanes just for cars coming in. There was no one there when I went. And that was it. That was my tour of Dollywood. I was just curious to see it. Didn't really see the park. It was just the parking lot. They have shuttle buses to the actual park. But I bet you that this is a great place to go. Spend some serious time with the family. Be a fun park. Cades Cove is a pretty famous valley in the area around Gatlinburg. I decided to go there. I wanted to go down a dirt road, which you'll see in a bit. But the road from Gatlinburg to Cades Cove was just longer than I expected. That was okay because you can see the road here. It's just a nice road going through the woods along the stream. Very nice, but again, stuck behind cars. Look at the GPS and the curves I'm going through. It doesn't really show it on the video, but pretty twisty road. After this very long ride through the woods, I finally arrived at the parking lot, the Welcome Center, and they had a little info about Cades Cove. There's a loop road that goes around the valley. You can see here, I'm on it. It's one way, pretty slow mile per hour speed limit, but it's very scenic. It's very nice to go slow. Of course, I'll get stuck behind some traffic in a bit, but that's okay. Going slow in this area is very nice. Cades Cove itself, it was a bit of a community, it seems. Not many homes, but you can imagine it was quite tight-knit and very isolated, but what a beautiful spot. at this church, of course. There's a couple of twists and turns here. Somebody just got nervous and couldn't make the turn at any kind of speed, so everybody backed up. The loop around the valley was to the left, but I was going straight. Parson Branch Road, straight ahead. By this point, I was getting a little interested. This was now a gravel road, not too many cars. I knew I was getting warm. These people had pulled over because there were a few turkey on the side of the road. They should see my house. I love these little one-lane, one-way bridges in the middle of the woods. I knew it was coming up on my road. The GPS told me so. But when you first see it, you're always like, oh my god, is this a good idea or not? So, unsure what to do, I putz around, look at the sign, look around, but eventually just shut it off and have a think before I do something else. If I see a road like that, I'm usually very invited. I want to go. But this sign made me nervous. The thing about the no emergency services and being one way, if you just get stuck, you're in a lot of trouble. So as I'm traveling down this road, my mind is thinking about those signs. What happens if I do have to turn around? I have no idea how bad this road is going to be. For whatever reason, I can't do it. I need to spin around, no problem. But now I'm going the wrong way on a one-way road. How am I going to deal with that? So I formulated a plan. If I did have to turn around, my plan was I would wait until dusk until I needed headlights. So this way, if I were coming the wrong way, at least somebody driving in the direction I'm currently going would see my headlights and not kill me around some blind turn. So that was my fallback plan. Wow. I was impressed by the size of this tree. Just really impressive, right along the side of the road. So stopped, took a picture. I can tell from the GPS I'm getting closer to the end. I'm getting comfortable, thinking I'm pretty hard ass, and I see these two.
Good.
I just make sure he's okay. I had already determined that she was fine. Here I came across what I guess I'm embarrassed to call a water crossing, but these are the kinds that you see on YouTube videos all the time. Not really a bridge, just some kind of concrete that the stream flows over. It was just kind of cool to see one for real and ride over it. Came across something. At first I thought it was horse shit, but I'm not too sure. My mind went to bear, but who knows?
That I don't know.
So for the next few minutes, all I could think about was coming around some corner, seeing the little bear, and the angry mother coming up on me and taking a big old bite of my helmet and crunching on the fiberglass. Don't know why I think about these things. So with all these pseudo water crossings I've been going over, I kind of want to get a shot of me, third person, so pulled over and started setting up. These are the kind of shots you see all the time on motovlogging sites or channels. I can really appreciate the amount of work that goes into it. As you can see what I did here. I set up the camera. Framing is horrible. Can't see anything except, I don't know, weeds. And I finally start the bike, ride by. And by the time I rode past, set up, rode back, it took about 25 minutes to go back and forth for 3 or 4 seconds of actual, maybe somewhat interesting video.
Find a spot here.
Since I'm not too smart, I had another quote unquote water crossing. I thought this would be interesting, so once again, another 25-minute delay for a couple of seconds of video. Well, at least that shot was more interesting and better framed.
Okay.
So, after 8 miles of really nice gravel road, I'm back on the tail of the Dragon. This is the dirt road I had seen previously the day before. This guy gave me the heads up, the sign that there's something up ahead to watch out for.
Oh, crap.
Looked like a trike and a gold wing cracked up. Reminder that the tail of the dragon is no joke. I was thinking I should pick up a couple more stickers or t-shirts or whatever, but by the time I pulled in, they had just closed. So it's a loop around the parking lot, and see you later, tail of the dragon.
Whoa. Look at that. Hmm.
This is the Fontana Dam, part of the Civil Works project. Pretty cool place.
Bypass tunnels. Wow. Pretty cool.
Oh.
Wow. Told in too much on that.
I was pretty tired. I just got lazy on that turn and almost dumped it. So I'm just enjoying the sights, thinking everything is pretty relaxed. And he goes by. Remind you that I'm still in the tail of the dragon area, and there are a lot of motorcyclists that like to go fast. With him passing me like that, I got a little encouraged and picked up the pace a little bit, but I never saw him again. He disappeared.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah, don't fall.
This is the top of those bypass tunnels, I assume. But sticking your camera over those edges and snapping a picture, all I could think about was don't drop the camera, don't drop the camera. Seeing this flag was kind of cool. Tennessee Valley Authority. You read about it in the history books, but here it was. The ride from Fontana Dam back to Robbinsville was uneventful, spirited, but mostly these back roads that I was becoming used to. All really nice. Here I was behind some local, just trying to get home, I guess. But he knew the roads well and was moving pretty quick, so I just stuck up with him. Ended up being kind of a spirited ride for me. I enjoyed it quite a bit. By the time I pulled into Robbinsville, it was dark, so I was definitely pushing it in terms of the time of day, but it was a great day overall. All packed up and ready to go. First day out on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Rain, of course. This is the highway on the way to Cherokee, where the Blue Ridge Parkway begins or ends. Was pretty overcast. A little vista here. You can see the clouds, how low they were. But overall, not a great start to the day weather-wise. This is just outside of Cherokee, past this little drive-in diner, drive-in something. Just something that looks like it's from the 50s. Have all the little spots with the ordering stations, and you can imagine the people running out with their roller skates, delivering your milkshakes and hamburgers, whatever. Just outside of Cherokee, I see these cars and this truck stopped, wondering what was going on, but they were looking at the elk in the field. Pretty amazing how large the elk are. I never saw one in person. They are very large.
Plop. These are big animals.
Passing by this little local store, you see the signage out front or on the side of the building, but that's native Cherokee Indian written words. The Cherokee Indians, this is their reservation or these homelands. Pretty interesting, the history around here. So this was the entrance to the Blue Ridge Parkway. It began in Cherokee, which is the very end of the parkway, or the beginning in my case, on the southern terminus. So far, the road wasn't that impressive. It was all overcast and woods. I knew I was missing a lot, or I suspected as much, but it was raining and overcast, and not much you can do. This is a pretty typical experience for riding a motorcycle in the rain. Just drops of water obscuring your view. Can't see much.
Over the head.
But this time in the morning, things had stopped raining for the most part, and the clouds were lifting a little vistas here and there. The weather was definitely lifting. You can see the view here. It's pretty good actually. Rain had stopped. Things were looking up. Today I had lunch here. Sat on the curb, had my lunch packed. It was great. And my motorcycle just turned over 30,000 miles here, Blue Ridge Parkway. I love these views you get of the roadway ahead. You can see the vehicles in the distance, how small they look, and it's just inviting to me. I know I'm heading there. I'm going to be around that curve in a few minutes.
Wow. Awesome. Hey, bird. When? What? Beep, beep, beep. Well, you're a road runner now. Look at you go.
By this time of the day, I knew I wasn't going to make it to my original destination, and I had to stop at Walmart or someplace to get a charger. So I was going past Asheville. I figured I'd stop there for the night. But that was it. That was the end of the parkway for me on my first day. Well, went to Best Buy for a charger. They had battery packs and chargers I was interested in. And of course, I forgot to shut off the camera, so I took a video of myself. Storm clouds over Asheville were impressive, although it didn't really rain when I was there, luckily. But it sure looked like it was going to. Breakfast was grits and a BLT. My second day on the parkway, the weather was very different. Very nice day. Had to get off the parkway for some gas. Took a couple of pictures of signs. This one made me laugh. This guy worked at the station, put up the flag, saluted. No one was around. I didn't really plan ahead, but I saw the sign for Mount Mitchell and I figured I would take a little detour. Very happy I decided to do that. Ends up being quite the place. Almost 6,600 feet. Pretty cold, 48 degrees. You can see we're above the clouds or at cloud level just on the parking lot. There's a pullover. I just like the clouds in the background. Should have waited for the Subaru. Oh, I guess I did. So luck was with me, and right around the time I got hungry, I was passing Little Switzerland. This is a very popular spot for lunch and just a really nice place to visit. I highly recommend stopping if you're nearby.
All right.
Lunch was brisket sandwich and fries. Pretty good. This is the formal dining room, or the dining room for dinner, which was closed, but I just want to take some pictures. A really nice spot. Off on the right, I see another dirt road. I have to see if I can spin around and see what that's all about. This is the start of that dirt road I had seen. It goes onto the parkway, and then this one's parallel back to that orchard. So I didn't really plan ahead. I was just on the parkway. But here's the Linco Viaduct, very famous spot. By this time, I'd crossed over the viaduct multiple times, but I had to get the shot of me crossing it from this third person view. So, 2 more crossings. To get that shot, you have to leave the camera on a tripod, which leaves it exposed to tampering or theft.
Yeah. This is beautiful. Oh, are we on that? Where's the person? Oh no, it scares me. Now we're gonna be on that.
It sounds like they checked it out and realized they were going to be on the video, but they did leave it alone, so kudos to them. And you can hear me pulling up to fetch my camera right after they passed by. On particularly nice pieces of the parkway, I would just turn around and ride the other way. Here you can see the viaduct that I just went over in the background, and it's just a really nice scenic spot. By this time it was about 5-6 o'clock. I knew I wasn't going to make it to my original destination goal, so I pit stopped in Boone, North Carolina, and this is downtown Boone. Ends up this was graduation weekend, and this is a college town, so there was a lot of cars and traffic. This is where I stayed for the night, and this is where I had my dinner. The parkway north of Boone is very different. It's more like just a really, really nice country road, but not up in the mountains. My day in Boone started at the CVS. I was looking for some Mucinex to try to help me with this cold. By this time I knew I was pretty sick and I just needed to get off the parkway and sort of get serious about getting home. But that was it. I just turned off the parkway and that was the end of that. So even though I wasn't feeling great and I wanted to get home, I didn't want to pass up the chance to go to Natural Bridge, Virginia. It's been on my list for a little while. I don't know what kind of snake you are. Pretty fast. Last hotel of the trip, somewhere near Winchester, Virginia. Nice sunset that night. The trip home was almost all highway, so kind of boring. This guy was interesting though. He's a car hauler from Bearsville, just outside of Woodstock, New York. So made it home after 5 days of heading north, and overall the trip, both going south and coming back home, was just about 3,100 miles. It was a lot of fun, the longest trip that I've taken by far on the motorcycle, or even by car, and I think I would like to do more of these, so we'll see where that takes me in the future. Yeah, bad filming.